The economy is no doubt struggling, but it may surprise you to learn that new businesses are actually growing at the fastest rate in 15 years. So what is making folks take the leap into startups, and what should you be cautious of if you want to be your own boss? Neil Lerner, director of the Small Business Development Center at the UW Business School, here to talk about that. I could not imagine, and I do know people who have in this economy, have taken the leap and are starting their own business. That's pretty gutsy, isn't it?
Sure. It always takes risk to start a business. Now it could seem like a bigger risk for some people, but we have classes that teach people about the things they need to know to start businesses, and we have 30, 40 people 4 times a year come to these classes to learn about how to do that.
So I think that the first thing, if you're thinking of this, is financial support. Where is the money going to come from, especially if I have to pay health insurance and all that as well to employees?
Well, sure. I think risk is pretty individual, so it depends on the person's individual situation. Do they have money saved they can put towards the business? Do they have money saved that they can live off of? Most likely revenues won't come in right away or as quickly as they'd like typically. So that's important. Health insurance is certainly important.
Is it a good thing if you have a full-time job to do your business maybe part-time at first and kind of go gradually into it?
If you can, it can be a great idea because no matter how sound the idea and no matter how much experience you have, it can't hurt to test your idea, test the waters, deliver. If you're doing some kind of service, deliver the service, whether it's to individuals or to businesses. If it's products, deliver the products, see what kind of response they get from people. And then as your business builds, you could maybe work something out with your employer possibly to ramp down your hours and put more time into the business.
It's probably a good idea to have a little nest egg, have something saved on the side before starting this.
If at all possible, yes. Yeah. It's to start a business simply to replace income immediately is really I wouldn't recommend it because it typically doesn't happen right away to immediately replace the income that you've lost somewhere else.
And if you're producing a product, could you outsource the production rather than having to pay the expenses for the equipment you may need?
Sure, absolutely. It depends on the production, but there's lots of small manufacturers in Wisconsin and in the surrounding states. Certainly at the Small Business Development Center, we'd recommend you try to find somebody in Wisconsin that could do that for you.
Yeah. Good information. And if you're thinking of doing this, you want to start your own business, you have any questions of starting your own, you can go to sbdc.wisc.edu for more info and resources, or you can call the number that is on your screen. Some good information. Thank you very much, Neil.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.